Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the mandatory. Remember, if you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media channels. You'll see on the screen or even in the description the ways that you can connect with us. If you've already done that, we do appreciate you. Remember, we're on the audio side, wherever you find your shows, podcasts, you can find us there as well. And lots to get into on this episode. In the final segment, we're going to preview Chris Eubank Jr. and Connor Ben 2. We're previewing that. Of obviously, the first fight I think was one of the best fights this year. We're going to be talking about 154 because obviously with Virgil winning, he brought, Jerome Boots Ennis in the ring and they had a little bit of a conversation. But guess what? They might not even be fighting each other. That's boxing, right? And I think we got to start off with the biggest news though. And this is massive, Bryan. Boxing's been kind of going a little bit slow, but this news is great. We've been waiting for this. Jake Paul, obviously no longer fighting Tank Davis, and we were wondering who he was going to fight. Well, it turns out he's fighting, one of the top heavyweights still in Anthony Joshua. He's not like one or two, but he's top 5. Would you say, Bryan?
Still, you have to. Yeah. I think so at this point. Even though, I mean, if we're being honest about Anthony Joshua, a couple of the losses on his record, namely this past one against Daniel Dubois and the Andy Ruiz one, were runs where he got away from his game plan, or got away from just what should have been his game plan at the very least, which is to say he fought definitely below his level. But a loss is a loss, and he lost those two emphatically, and that's kind of his own doing. Still, I think you and I would agree we're much looking forward to this a lot more than the potential. Like, I don't know what the fuck the Tank thing was going to be, honestly.
This is a legit fight. Right? Because you think about weight classes, Jake's a big guy. He's going to be able to come in at a good amount at heavyweight, but he's fighting a legit boxer. Like, I know Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz. That was one of the biggest upsets of the time of the year in boxing. He ended up avenging that loss, and then recently, obviously, he lost against Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk is one of the greatest heavyweights of our generation, of this time, hands down, and one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, one of them. So he was going to lose that, right? Just in terms of skill. Did not avenge any of those losses, and then he gets knocked out dirty. It's actually in our countdown to our show. Anthony Joshua getting knocked out by Daniel Dubois, his face. It's in the countdown, Bryan. So here's the thing though. I've always said this. Anthony Joshua has one of the best resumes in terms of boxing. He's fought everybody in his era except for Tyson Fury, and we might get that in 2026.
I mean, hopefully, but the thing is that these two have been circling each other for so long. I think it was 2023-ish. This is post Usyk, after Anthony Joshua fought Usyk twice. So maybe even sooner than that. I don't remember the exact timeline. But that was when you started really hearing like, oh, this may happen. And then, somebody got mad, somebody else pulled out, whatever, just boxing bullshit. So I try not to look forward too much to fights just because sometimes they don't happen. Not sometimes, a lot of times they don't happen. We'll get to a scenario later where there's something may or may not happen. I recall not that long ago, Errol Spence Jr. standing in the ring with Sebastian Fundora as if that was going to happen next. And then all of a sudden you have accounts tweeting that Errol Spence retired, which I don't know if that's true at all, because now I'm seeing another report suggesting that he's going to be training with Roy Jones Jr. Apparently. I just like, the fuck, sport is so stupid, but we love it. I do think that with Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. So in terms of the actual fight component of this, and I'm going to share screen on what we know so far per ESPN.
Yeah.
But I do think, kind of like what I said before, with Tank, the frustration is, why haven't you fought another champion? Like in your weight class, basically. Like tried to unify, like chase greatness in that way, which we've talked about his resume a bunch. And if you compare it to like Anthony Joshua gets more of a quote unquote pass on this because he's seen it all, done it all. This is me giving Anthony Joshua credit because I'm harder on him than you. Seen it all, done it all, basically, or just about it all. The one guy I really wanted to see him fight at his peak was Deontay Wilder. Both sides apparently wanted it at different times, or whatever the case may be. Business got in the way. They argued about who was the A side through Eddie Hearn, through Lou DiBella. I was there when Lou DiBella pulled up the emails to Eddie Hearn, that he and Deontay Wilder, had their exchange with them and tried to make the fight, whatever. Like, this was at a press conference years ago, like all these different things. So to me, like, that's one sort of blemish on both their resumes, that they didn't fight each other. However, they still chased other really good fights. Deontay Wilder getting Tyson Fury, for example, the trilogy, which is one of the better trilogies we've had lately, even though you could argue Tyson Fury should have won all three of them.
Yeah.
But I think with Anthony Joshua, like, damn near undisputed, in the ring with Usyk, avenged his Andy Ruiz loss, beat Vladimir Klitschko toward the end, but still, and that was a very entertaining fight also. Joseph Parker earlier in his career, like, he just has win after win or fight after fight after fight that's felt big. And Tank didn't really, he hasn't really had that. And Tank is in his prime now. And it's annoying that you could just go fight Shakur Stevenson, presumably, but we're not getting that fight. And that's a fight we should get. Where Anthony Joshua's given us all, except for Deontay Wilder, pretty much all the fights we've wanted.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you can cash out and do this. And it makes total sense because you're toward the end. You've seen it all, pretty much done it all. Was one of the highest selling guys in the sport. You knocked out Francis Ngannou also, and then came back and had a real fight after. So maybe he has a real fight after this. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Anthony Joshua, I think you said it perfectly. He's seen it all and done it all. There's only two names that he didn't really fight in his era. That was Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That's it. And the thing about it is, we don't really need to see him and Deontay Wilder now because we know Wilder's not Wilder.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to see that. I do want to see him in Fury because here's the thing: that fight is still a massive fight in boxing today.
Agree.
Yeah. And it's going to be entertaining. Tyson Fury is still one of the most entertaining professional athletes out there. They could do that at Wembley. That's going to sell out. Everyone's going to be watching. We've been waiting for that for a minute, and it can still happen at this point because I think even at their careers, remember, Tyson Fury's coming off to back-to-back losses against Alexander Usyk. Anthony Joshua lost to Alexander Usyk twice as well, is, coming off a knockout. But Anthony Joshua has been doing like these, I want to say prize fights, because he did fight Francis Ngannou and just like crushed him in that first round. Like, it was pure domination. It was one of the nastiest things we ever saw. And I felt good for Anthony Joshua in that moment because he was kind of like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm a real boxer. And so when he's fighting Jake Paul, we've been talking about how Jake Paul needs to fight a real boxer. I couldn't believe he picked Anthony Joshua. I cannot believe he wants to possibly die because I'm telling you, this is dangerous. This is a real puncher. And here's the thing, like, Anthony Joshua's always had raw power. When he started to be like, you know what, I'm going to be more skilled and kind of change the way he normally fought early on, that's when his like fighting style kind of changed. I always thought naturally like he should just be that power puncher, but he tried to be more skilled and like went away from it. Cool. Whatever. I guess you have to change your fight style at some point. But I think confidence wise, that did something to him because he was never the same. Like after that Usyk loss and the way he reacted, actually going back to Andy Ruiz, like that was probably a game changer for him. He came back, he avenged that loss, got some more wins. But then after the Alexander Usyk stuff, like his behavior was kind of off. You know what I mean?
I remember it was bizarre. He was like, I won the fight. This is bullshit, whatever. Grabbed the mic and he was just tight. I don't disagree with that. I do think with the fight with Jake Paul, hopefully Jake Paul has good health insurance. Hopefully you'll have good health insurance. Health insurance is hard to get if you live in America. For an affordable number. That's another story for another day.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. Free healthcare in Canada, it's not that great, dude. Like
it's better than this. I promise you, it's better.
No, because yours is privatized.
Yeah, we have to pay for it.
So
a lot of money.
But here's the thing.
We're not going to get to this conversation.
No, I want to get to this. I want to get to this really quickly. Because here's the thing. Canadians should have an option for privatized. Otherwise, you're sitting in the ER for 6 hours, not seeing anybody, right? Whereas, like, if you're American, you can like pay for it, which it is expensive. But if you have insurance, you can just be like, "Yo, here's my insurance. Go and you get looked at real fast." We don't have that here.
It depends where you go, because
I understand.
some people might see what you look like and be like, you know.
No, but I'm just saying, like, there's benefits to both. But I do like free healthcare. I think it should be universal. But anyways, that's beyond the point.
Yeah. Don't go to a racist hospital.
I can't believe you guys have racist hospitals down there. That's terrible.
I've heard a lot of women talk about this in terms of women of color, in terms of dealing with pregnancy and how doctors
turn them away and stuff,
or just deal with them differently.
Yeah,
you know what I
sure.
mean? Which is, among other things, unfortunate. We'll keep it to that. All right. Anyway, moving on to boxing.
Moving on from her political podcast.
Those are the best ones, by the way, but we can't have them on there.
One more thing. Let's stop the racist hospitals. That's terrible. I've never heard of that. Like, I've been lucky to live in Canada. Anyways, go on.
They exist. I would say probably not as much in New York City as other places, but they definitely exist. Okay, what we know about this fight, let's share. Going back to this, when we clip this part of the entire segment of the part, we're just gonna keep this in. Of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul potentially fighting. It's not finalized yet. So that's the other thing. Eddie heard this Wednesday. Okay. So not finalized yet. We're taking this as it is, but this is a rumor that has very much advanced. I also think, Shantelle, by the way, doesn't this feel like to you, before we get like into a couple of these things and then just move on, because we have 154 to talk about. We have a lot to talk about.
That's one of our favorite divisions. We're gonna like yap about that for a minute.
Doesn't this feel like Jake Paul just cashing out? Like, he's just kind of like, fuck it. I'll fight Anthony Joshua. Whatever happens, happens. If he knocks me out, then you know what? I could say I did X, Y, and Z, because it does feel like he's transitioning into being more of a promoter. And maybe he'll still fight a little bit, but maybe I don't know if he'll try to be taken less seriously is the right way to put it. But this does feel like, let me cash out and make a ton of money, and then like if I don't have to box anymore, I won't. Like I did this.
That's a really good point that you make, because I didn't think about it like that. I think Jake's a great promoter. I think he's a great businessman. Like I really like him in that space. When it comes to boxing, I've been a little bit harder on him and tougher on him, because I think, like, I don't like the guys that he's fought, but at the same time, he's built a resume, and there's guys that come up and they're fighting, some guys that have like over 300 losses. So he's put together a resume, but the thing that pissed me off was like when he was just fighting like old former MMA guys. And MMA and boxing is like, it's so different, right? It's like, it's day and night, guys. And so I didn't like that aspect of it. And they were like old, like retired MMA guys. So lately, like, he's picked better opponents, but this is the best opponent he's ever picked, ever. This is legit. In terms of him cashing out, he already has all the money in the world. So I don't know if he's just kind of like, yo, I want a real test and I want to put on a good show and just see what I have against a real fighter. Because here's the thing, whether you like Jake or not, he's gotten better as a boxer and he trains every day. Like, he does take it seriously. So he does need some credit with that. But this is like a real fight where we're going to see all those conspiracy theories. That, like, I'm telling you, people are like, well, AJ signed a contract and this and that. But like, we're going to see how this plays out.
If it happens.
Well, that's the thing that now I'm like, it's not finalized.
Because Eddie Hearn
might not even happen.
Yeah, possibly everyone jumped the gun last night. Although, like, again, this has the feel of this one may actually happen. It makes the most sense. Well, I don't know about the most sense, but it does make more sense than Tank. This is the most, that's the most dangerous fight for me right now. Jake Paul. We might have even said that. Jake Paul said this previously on another ESPN article we actually reviewed. I think it was last week. Yeah. You and I might have even said like Anthony Joshua was the most dangerous guy out of all the guys on his wish list. Yeah. Which is a matter of fact.
This is the wish list.
Yeah, let's look at this again. This is probably more interesting than the other shit. Terrence Crawford was on it. Whatever. I didn't think we were gonna get that.
Yeah.
KSI.
Nah, I mean, let's go over KSI. Come on.
Alex Pineda.
This one was the one that I wanted. Like, this is the one where I was like, if he's gonna fight a guy that does mixed martial arts, Alex Pereira is that guy. Dangerous, bruh.
Who is a great kickboxer, who has one pro boxing match under his career, and is regarded as one of the best just strikers in the UFC, period. Probably the best, probably the most frightening.
And he's got like ridiculous power.
Yeah.
Like his power is like unbelievable.
And he boxes.
So, yeah.
He boxes. So he has one fight, but he probably boxes much more than the average UFC fighter in terms of their training regimen.
Yeah. And depending on like what type of fight he's in, like guys want to get him onto the ground. You don't want him upright. You don't want him upright.
Anthony Joshua, who we've talked about. Tommy Fury. So we actually got a comment about this. Travis KP Hall, welcome, says he fought Tommy and got his butt handed to him. The only real boxer, and young. Yeah, and it's weird that like Tommy Fury since then, what's he done? Like I don't know.
Reality TV. I don't know.
You know what I mean? So like there were people saying ahead of that fight, like, is Tommy Fury the first real boxer he's fighting? He's a Fury, but if you look at his resume was as bad as Jake Paul's. You know,
I'll say this. I don't think
that makes the loss worse, actually, to your point, Travis.
Yeah. You know what? That's true. It does make it worse. But the thing with Tommy Fury is like he doesn't need boxing. He's good looking. He can go do something else. Like I'm being honest here.
The blue eyes got you.
No, like I'm just being honest. Like he's good looking. He doesn't need to box.
He's done other shit.
He's in reality TV and stuff like that. Like he doesn't need to put his life on the line. Like he's
I don't know what the fuck he's done, but he's done something. I don't watch any of that shit.
Anyways, let's keep going.
There's a restaurant that I go to around here that they did like a Love Island watch party.
Oh yeah.
And like I got caught in it, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I gotta eat my quesadilla and get the fuck out of here."
They're like, "Is Bryan at the Love Island watch party?"
Because I was looking around, I was like, "Why are all these fucking like kids, but like they're 20 something, so not that much younger than me, but still like, why are they all here?" And then I see because they had like just some sports shit. Then I see Love Island playing, and I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta go." Like,
I don't want to be seen here.
We cannot do it. No, it's
Bryan
not even
Fonseca.
That. It's like, I just don't. We're good. What?
Bryan Fonseca at the Love Island watch party. Oh my god! If you were there, it's cool, dude. It's all right. Okay, if you were there.
I've never watched more than a few seconds of that shit.
Really good. It's really good. Okay, anyways.
Is it really?
It is, yeah. Love Island is really good too. But Love Island, there's a lot of drama this past season. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I just want to watch things where I don't have to think. And it's like so stupid. So that's why I watch stuff like that. Yeah.
This is why I recommend video games for people who are stressed out. Alexander Usyk, no thank you. But see, Anthony Joshua, I don't know who's more dangerous, right? Because Anthony Joshua like is just a bigger puncher, but also Alexander Usyk is better. Clearly,
Alexander Usyk will like break you down and give you a lesson and send you home crying.
He could also knock you out.
Yeah,
like with one punch. He did it to Daniel Dubois.
Dude, he's the greatest heavyweight of our generation.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to put it. Like he would destroy Jake.
Yeah.
He destroyed Anthony Joshua twice, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this was the other one where we were both like, so it was Pereira. And then we were like, Canelo, because they agreed to it before. And then Canelo's another, like, Anthony Joshua's seen it all, done it all. What's he going to do next? Well, why not fight Jake Paul? Like,
I think okay, so I'm going to be serious. Like, the Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul fight is big, but Canelo and Jake Paul would be one of the biggest fights to make in boxing.
I think it'd be bigger.
Yeah, it would be one of the biggest. It would be, that's what I'm saying. It's bigger
not
than
in Europe, not in Europe, but in most of the rest of the world. Definitely here.
Worldwide, yeah. But here's another thing too. I wonder where they will do Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Will they do it in Europe? Because
I saw that they were still gonna get Vegas? they were gonna still do Miami.
Oh, okay.
I feel like they should do it in Europe. I don't know what logistics you have to move around to try to get Wembley Stadium in a short notice, but I do think people will come out for that.
But UK boxing fans are great. Like
they'll come out and be like, wait, our guy is gonna knock out this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And then it also becomes like a Brit versus American thing too. I hate to say it, but it does, right?
You know, I don't really root for Team USA when it comes to shit.
But you're right. But he's also a fellow Puerto Rican. What am I saying? What? Come on. What am I saying there? He's your fellow Puerto Rican.
You got me there. That was bad.
He's both your nationalities. I'm just saying.
I
Just saying.
walked right into that shit. He has
Yeah.
his entire business over there too. He's been there more than me at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But my question to you, Bryan,
Because of tax
is
reasons.
if Jake Paul does well in this fight, though, what would your thoughts be? Like, if he does decent, like, what would your thought? That's a question to ask, though. What would your thoughts be? Because I'm thinking he
That
gets
Anthony
knocked out.
Joshua's carrying him. That's what my thought would be.
But do they make
Like,
it a little okay? But here's the thing: do they make it a little bit entertaining, right? Like, do you give Jake three to 6 rounds? Because I think if I'm being real, I think AJ knocks him out in rounds 1 through 3.
yeah, if I'm AJ, I'm doing what I did the Francis Ngannou fight.
Yeah.
All right, let's feel him out a little bit. Let's see. Oh, you're telegraphing that? Okay, great. Oh, you're not you don't have your guard up after throwing your right hand. Okay, great. I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
Like we broke it down into how he sort of how he plotted this knockout many punches ahead, where he kept getting to the same shot, same right hand over and over, and Francis Ngannou wasn't doing anything about it. So he was like, "All right, one of these is going to make you fall," and he just did it. So I wouldn't fuck around. And I think this is the thing I do like about Anthony Joshua a lot is he really, really, really respects the game, which is to say he's not gonna. At least I don't think so. He's not gonna be out here just like what Tyson Fury did with Francis Ngannou, where he didn't
Mm.
take it seriously. He fucked around the entire time. You could tell he wasn't really in shape. He was just kidding. Where Anthony Joshua was going to be like, no, I'm really this guy, and I feel like I'm still this guy, and you're coming into my ring, so I have to teach you a lesson and put you out. And he'll do it. He'll do it very early, because I think he just respects the game and he understands. Like, I think he'll take it seriously to the point where, like the Francis Ngannou fight, where it's like, yo, I'm representing my sport.
Yeah.
I'm representing what I do for a living against this guy who has come in here and is attempting to take it over. Like, I think he would carry it that way based on what we've known about Anthony Joshua for years.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua's not going to want to lose this fight, and that's why I think for me all those conspiracy theories get thrown out the window, because if Anthony Joshua was to lose to Jake Paul, his career
Goodness.
would be done.
Jake Paul would legitimately get a title shot or a title eliminator after.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he would go up so quick on the rankings. It would be ridiculous. He'd be saying that he was the best in the world. We would not hear the end of it.
Speaking of, before we close the door on this topic and slide on down to 154.
Is Jake Paul even ranked?
No, not in
Not in
heavyweights.
cruiserweight. Not in cruiserweight. Yeah.
Not a heavy. Well, he is at cruiserweight. He's 14.
Oh, he is.
He's 14 by
wow.
the WBA.
But it's a WBA, so.
But Anthony Joshua is still ranked number 7 by the WBO. See it here below Jared Anderson, which is interesting.
I would rank AJ above Jared Anderson. That is the dumbest thing I've seen today.
But Jared Anderson's with Top Rank.
Yeah, the WBO makes sense.
Anthony Joshua's ranked number 3 by the WBC behind Daniel Dubois, okay, and Lawrence Collier. Okay.
Is Collier overrated, or is it just me?
Yes. No disrespect, but I don't know how you're number 1 in line to get a title shot after Ajit Caballero, presumably. It doesn't appear that Anthony Joshua is ranked by the IBF or the WBA at all, which is interesting. I mean, he got knocked out for the IBF title, so they just whatever.
But just take him off a whole list. Like, he's better than a lot of those guys.
Yeah,
on the list.
The thing I would say though is, more importantly, so if Jake Paul were to pull this off, like, yeah, they're gonna find any excuse to put him so that they can make that money. You know what I mean? Like, Jake Paul's going to be a bigger moneymaker than most of the guys we're looking at here. It just is what it is.
Here's another thing, though.
I don't think he's going to win, though. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth entertaining, but still.
Travis KP Hall says, I feel like age has a big factor in this. Anthony Joshua is 36, 35, 36, if I'm not mistaken. What, Bryan, can you please pull up
37? Hold on.
I think he's 35, 36.
He just turned 36. So
okay, yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, no, I believe.
What do you want me to pull up?
His record, because I just want to see his resume for a minute. Because other than the Francis Ngannou fight, how long ago was that Usyk fight? Was that 2024? How long has he been inactive in terms of a real fight?
Longer.
Okay.
Well, Daniel Dubois was more recent.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Was that last year, the Daniel Dubois fight?
September of last year. Wow, was that
Okay.
long ago, huh?
So yeah, he's been out of the ring for a long time. I mean, that being out of the ring and not being active for over a year is huge.
So Ngannou's March of 2024. Otto Wallin, he fought 3 times in 2023. That's right. He was busy after the Usyk fight.
Yeah.
So Usyk was 2022, which makes sense because we broke that down at one of our former employers.
Yes.
2023, this is how that show got started. This show got started, rather. Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin was all 2023. So yeah, I would say the last real fight was obviously Daniel Dubois, where he got dropped 4 times. So coming off, it's worth mentioning that he's a good deal older and that he's coming off a fight where he got dropped 4 times, got knocked out bad, and has been basically on a 14-month layoff, and it'll maybe be 15 by the time this fight actually happens, if it does happen. So like those are things worth mentioning. That being said, if you can knock out Francis Ngannou in 2 rounds, I feel good about his chances against Jake Paul very much, and being able to do something similar. So that's where I'm at with it.
Listen, AJ's got to put on a show for everybody that's a real boxing fan, and he's got a statement to prove if this does happen. But props to Jake Paul for taking on this fight. He deserves all the credit. Yeah, if it happens, he deserves the props for that if he does take this fight with Anthony Joshua. And if he does, regardless if he wins or loses, I don't think that, and I think he's going to lose. I don't think we can say that he hasn't fought anybody real. That's a real boxer then. Like a real legit boxer, that narrative would have to go, regardless if he loses. Let's go back to Travis KP Hall. In my experience, looking at boxing, when you get dropped really badly, you don't recover. That's true at times, but it's true. It's like once you get knocked out, you're probably going to get knocked out more.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
But
so for sure,
the skill gap here, though, is
crazy,
fairly significant. Where will his chin get tested at all? Is the other thing, and he's bigger. So
yeah, IMPK 13. AJ was supposedly hurt. Are you talking about the Daniel Dubois fight?
Dubois fight, yeah.